And as you join us live on Narrative Live here on Substack, I'm joined by Lev Parnas from Lev Remembers. And we have them. We have the Epstein Files, or what they're allowing us to see of the Epstein Files. Lev, the little bit we've seen already, it looks like this is a wholesale cover-up. There is very little in here that we haven't seen. And just to give everyone context, we're expecting 300 gigabytes of data and photos and whatever. We've seen maybe 4 gigabytes.
I mean, Zev, I'm sorry to laugh. This is not a laughing matter in no shape, way, or form. But for those of you, and me and you spoke earlier today, I sent you my subset. I spoke to my sources. This doesn't surprise me. They were never planning on releasing the files. You had Blanche come out already earlier. If you saw his face, I know Blanche very well, but when he was on Fox saying, "Oh, we're
Yeah.
going to give 200,000," there's another two. You could see he was sweating. He was
Yeah.
nervous. The White House today was scrambling because there's a lot that they're scrambling because remember, first of all, a lot of people have seen a lot of those files. There's a lot of witnesses. Second of all, there's a lot of cover-up crimes that are happening because that's why you see Rokana and others constantly coming out and warning, saying that people will go to prison, Attorney General Pam Bondi, if there's obstruction, if something gets destroyed. Because remember, you don't have to destroy millions of files or thousands of files or hundreds of files. Sometimes all it takes is that one sentence or that one picture or that one file. And it's like finding a needle in a haystack. And if then all of a sudden, there, like I was speaking with Dave Ehrenberg yesterday, if there's no body, there is no crime. I know Trump very well, and that's how he thinks. So I think right now that is where you're seeing a lot of, also fighting internally what to release, what to not to release, what to scrub, because it's just mayhem. And one of the things you saw, what they did was very strategic today, very strategic. So today, look what you had happens of. You have Dan Bongino right before the holidays on the day of the Epstein Files leaving the FBI. Nobody's gonna even find him. I guarantee you for the next month. He's incognito. You have Donald Trump today coming out, making a press conference, not taking any questions for the first time, getting on a plane. He's off to Mar-a-Lago. You're not going to see him probably till the new year. You
Right.
have Johnson that is now basically shut down the Congress till
Yeah.
January 5th. Basically, everything is shut down. And then they do this, like you said, dump of four, what is it, four? I'm not good, like almost
There's 4 gigabytes that
0%.
I see here, or just above 4, and they
What
were
was the
promising
percent?
300 gigabytes. So,
So you're not even looking at 10%, not even one
well, I
percent,
mean,
like
this is it's
one point.
zipped. It's I can't say that definitively yet, but let me just say it's a lot less than
Right.
what we thought we were going to get. I was looking at the zipped files. That's actually inaccurate. But
But I'll even tell you that it doesn't matter how much it is. Take a look at it. I haven't seen it. But I'm sure you have already, and that's why I know you're good at this. But I'm sure a lot of it's redacted. A lot of it is blacked out.
a
A lot of
lot.
it. Exactly. I mean, it reminds me, I swear to you, of my Bill Barr going back to when I was prosecuted, and when they were supposed to hand over evidence to me, so, what they're prosecuting me on. They handed me a stack of evidence like this, and all of them were blacked out pages.
Yeah.
Literally, some of them completely, some of them you had like just a date or a name or a letter. I mean, it was ridiculous. You couldn't, we sat there with my attorney said, "And what are we supposed to do with this?" And they said, "It's national security, and we can't divulge it." Till this day, it's still under seal. That's how crazy it is.
I'm looking at a bunch of photographs here that are just, these are useful because they're from the actual police raids of his homes. And I'll pull some of them up here for you, but we're not. These are not. You're not going to find anything that you're going to be surprised by, or what have
See if
you.
they're see if they're. I was told by my sources that they were going to try to throw a bunch of Clinton pictures in there to try to normalize, show the Clinton
I'll do that.
relationship.
I will do that. Yeah.
See if there's any like that. That's one of the Larry Summers and that stuff. That's one of the things I was told that was going to transpire.
I mean, gives you an example of how redacted everything is. These are phone numbers, obviously, but they're completely redacted.
Yeah.
You saw, and this goes on for pages and pages and pages. There's another page I showed earlier of just the massages, and they were all blacked out. Then you've got these, which is what, pursuant to a federal investigation regarding the sexual exploitation of minors. so and so victim was interviewed by, so all blacked out. This they're going to say these are the first ones they put out because they want to show that they're hiding the names of the minors or victims
I
of these
see.
crimes.
Yeah, I see
Uh,
some of our subscribers. A bunch of them are saying that there's lots of pictures of the Clintons.
yeah, let me double
I
check
mean,
that.
folks. Yeah, I didn't even. I have not. We haven't even seen them. But
Yeah, we're just
for
looking at it
those
for the
of you,
first time.
yeah, for those of you that read my letter earlier, my sources told me that. I mean, this is pretty accurate. That there's going to be. This is exactly what I expected at least all day today as part of the game plan. I mean, seeing all of this blacked out stuff gives me PTSD. Remember,
With your own
about
with
my
your
own
own case. And
with
we've
my own
seen
case.
some of the stuff before. I mean, it's not like a lot of these Palm Beach stuff. These are old files that I actually think I've seen unredacted before. So I don't know why they're redacting them now. Again, these are all redacted things. I'm going to keep chasing through these, and if anyone has while they're watching, they can tell us where the Clinton files are in all of these. I
They're
can't.
saying there's pictures of Clinton in Africa, Clinton
Which do they
in a
say which
pool.
data set? There's 4 data
Uh,
sets, so maybe they can tell us which
no,
data set.
Clinton in a pool. Somebody put out there. Uh, whole pages are blacked out. Somebody said, yeah, yeah. I mean, it doesn't surprise me, folks. I really, when Zev called me, said, "Let's go." The pictures are. I mean, the files have dropped, and he said most of them are blacked out. I was like, doesn't surprise me. I mean, the biggest thing that really pisses me off. It's the slap to the face to the victims and the
It
survivors.
really
This
is.
is. I mean, this is just disgusting. I mean, just think about why wait. I mean, if you were gonna do this, you could have done this earlier. Just think about how they waited till the last second, right before the holidays, before the Friday, the 19th, the last day. I mean, I always say, don't listen to what they say, watch what they do. They always talk about transparency, but if they really wanted to release these files,
They
they could have
didn't.
done it at any time. Any
Look, I
time.
think that's
They
the
didn't have
main
to.
point, that this is really a cover up. What we're seeing now is the administration continuing what has been a months long effort, if not years long effort, to undermine this investigation, to completely cover it up. And the misdirection and the redirection towards Clinton is bullshit. I mean, we all know exactly what this is about. This is about covering up for Donald Trump and his association with
100%.
Jeffrey Epstein. And we can, all of us who've been working on this stuff for a very long time know that Donald Trump is heavily enmeshed in the world of Jeffrey Epstein, and what they're providing us is nowhere near the evidence
Nowhere near.
that we're expecting from these files. This is really just a cover up, and everyone involved must be aware that they are, you know, they're not only breaking the law in terms of the contempt of Congress, they're involved in a massive obstruction of justice here
Yeah.
that has continued for way too long. And it really is, as you point out, a slap in the face of everyone who's been working so hard, but also the victims who are
The
so
victims, the survivors.
hurt by all of this. And every single time, I speak to some of them, every single time this comes up, they've got to go back at it, re-traumatize themselves. It's just horrific. And to have them do it to have them force them to go through this again, it's just
uh,
appalling. It's just
I'm
appalling.
actually I'm going live today at 6:20, I think it is, with Joy Reid, and I'm going with one of the survivors. Her name is Marina Lacerda,
Mhm.
and I just can't imagine what she's going to say and what they feel like. I mean, because that, again, it's the build the expectation, and unfortunately, people still out there watching say, well, they have to I'll even tell you, it's crazy to you. Yesterday I did a live with David Ehrenberg, who's my attorney. He's
Yeah,
a great attorney. He's an ex state attorney from Palm Beach, senator from Palm Beach, and he was also like yesterday, like, oh, they're gonna try to redact it, they're gonna release it. And I said, Dave, they're gonna do a lot worse. I mean, you're dealing with criminal minds here. They're gonna try to cover up whatever they can. He goes, well, it would be a crime. I said, well, that's what criminals
they
do.
do. They do
Exactly. You know what I'm
crimes.
saying? I think people are still not realizing that Donald Trump is a criminal. See,
Hmm.
this is what I think a big, what's it called? I think because he has president instead in front of his instead of a number.
Yeah,
See, if he didn't win the election, he'd have a long number in front of his name, where somewhere in the penitentiary. But because he has president, a
yeah,
lot of people, take that and assume right away, forget really quickly that he is a criminal. He's a convicted criminal in the new state of New York on 34 charges. I think is if
that's
I'm
correct.
correct. So he's an officially convicted felon, and criminals have criminal minds. Criminals act like criminals. They don't think like you would think.
It's a
They
criminal
wouldn't think
network
like
as well.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. And right now, and always listen. There's reason. There's sayings last hundreds of years, and there's reasons because there's a meaning behind it, and that's why they always say the cover up is always worse than the crime.
hmm,
And
it's
and
true.
and the co-
These pictures, by the
and
way, this is
yeah,
all as these pictures are coming through.
yeah.
I'm just cycling
Yeah,
through
yeah,
them.
yeah.
There is
Please tell
nothing
us that.
here. There
Nothing,
is
right? I
nothing.
would be
This
surprised. Nothing.
evidence. Maybe some phone messages, blacked out folder names, evidence. These are all blacked out. It just, here's some, supposed evidence from the Palm Beach Police Department. This is all stuff that I think has been released ages ago. So I
I'm
haven't even
sure.
got to the new stuff, and they're already covering it up. What is this? This is the first time I've seen anything like legitimate. It's the Circuit Court of the 15th Judicial Circuit. Um, this is to appear in front of the state attorney for, I think, for his first subpoena. Um, Massage for Dummies. We've seen this picture before. The art of receiving. I mean, it's almost like they really are making fun of
Yeah.
us by this release. It's just endless
There,
amounts
there. It's,
of
it's,
nothing.
it's, it's, it's. To be honest with you, I mean, when are people in the media and the world, and when are people going to realize, and that's Donald Trump, and stop making excuses for him and for his circle around him. They are flaunting it. They're making fun of us, because think about what's happening right now. Not only did they just basically gave the whole world, the Epstein survivors, the middle finger with the Epstein files right before the holidays, right before the end of the year, by shutting down Congress, by going out there and what's it called, leaving and not doing anything about it, by doing this dumb. They also didn't extend the Obamacare ACLs, which now, again, people are gonna. So they don't care. This is them. This is what they do. This is part. This is the only way you stop them is by getting them out of office. By the way, I don't know if you heard, Zev, there was some breaking news earlier that I saw right before we went on, that Elise Stefanik has canceled her bid for governor of New York. And also she has said she's not going to run for re-election for congresswoman.
That's interesting. Another person
And,
to flee the boat. I mean, look,
yep,
there's a lot of
another
people
one.
who are leaving the Republican Party. That split is very evident, and people
Big,
don't
yeah.
want to be associated with this disaster. And this is not going to be the full release. Obviously, they're going to tease us with some stuff. We're going to have to fight for the full release in a few weeks, probably through legal means. We're going to have to go to court over this. Obviously, try and get the real stuff out. I reported a while ago that Judge Berman was already preparing himself to take over this case, and I think that it should land up within the judicial branch. We can't trust the Department of Justice or the executive branch
No.
to do this. Thankfully, there are reportedly alternative versions of this. There are, a lot of people have copies of this, so hopefully that exists elsewhere. There are over 100 Clinton mentions in the archive,
Oh, you
according
see that?
to the research. Um,
I'm curious. What about Trump? Do me a favor. See,
I
can you
don't
check
think
to
he
see?
showed up. I tried earlier on. I looked for some Trump, and I don't think he shows up.
Zero.
So
I'm sorry.
this,
I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry to laugh. This is not laughing matter. But just think
but
about,
yeah,
just think about what they want you to believe. All of a sudden, Donald Trump has disappeared out of the Epstein files,
yeah.
and Bill Clinton has all of a sudden reappeared and became the main. I mean, this is the disrespectful for the survivors. This is disrespectful to the country, to each and every one of us. I mean, enough is enough. Enough is
Yeah,
enough.
this is really it's almost laughable that they've given us this evidence. For those people who've been following my work over the last 6 years,
Yep,
I've laid out a
Sev,
pretty
great.
clear strategy, a pretty clear view that Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein were not only best friends, they not only were playboys running around on the jet set scene looking for models all the time. They were involved in what appears to be a very large international foreign operation to not only compromise American democracy, to compromise our financial system, to bankrupt our financial system as best as possible. You'll know this because it's such an interesting little thing. Epstein used to talk to, is it Chernin or is it? That's not the right name. The other the former ambassador who died, uh,
Churkin,
Churkin, right?
Churkin.
Yeah.
Yeah, Victor Churkin.
Yeah, so it's really interesting to me as I
Yeah.
poured into this that Epstein and obviously was talking to Churkin for a long period of time.
Oh
Maybe he was
yeah.
his handler. The other person that Churkin was talking to a lot and knew for many, many years is Donald Trump. Now, how come that, it's possible that these are just people that happen to know each other in the scene, but for 30 years, Donald Trump knew Churkin because he was responsible for that tour that they did in 1996 to Moscow, and he's obviously the ambassador who then ended up being the United Nations ambassador. But in his role
This
there, he was basically handling both
he,
of these people. Yeah,
so Zev, yeah, this is one of a big
yeah,
investigation I'm
yeah,
working on, part of it. And Churkin is part of the KGB. He was a handler for many of
yeah,
these powerful men like Epstein, Trump, and it wasn't that they thought they're going to be president any day. Don't get me wrong. No, it's because they had connections into powerful industries. They had connections into
exactly.
lobbyists. They had connections into the both Democrat Republican parties. They were leaders of industries in the world of Russia. They were considered the oligarchy, in sort of a way, and that's why Russia targeted them, because these were people that were willing to break the law. These were people that were willing to do whatever it took for money or power, and these are people that had plenty of compromise on them by the Russians, and
Yeah.
just like Epstein. I'm sure we're gonna, if we would ever get the real files, we'd probably see that the Russians had compromise on Epstein and had something on him also, and there were probably conversations. Why is Epstein all of a sudden so like with Churkin on such great? And giving him all this information to take down Donald Trump, like
He was his handler. I mean, you look at
right,
you look at Robert
exactly.
Maxwell. Robert Maxwell had the same kind of relationship with the KGB, and Epstein took that over. But it's not only that. You've got the banks are the same. They both went to J.P. Morgan first, and then when J.P. Morgan fired them, they both went to Deutsche Bank. They all had the same. They had the same broker, Bear Stearns. We know how that ended at the start of the 2008 crash. They were both associated with these models. Ivana. You look at Melania. You look at all these. Oh, it's not hard to see and they were best friends. So it's not hard to see how this was an espionage operation, or at least influenced as an espionage operation. They might not have been fully aware, although I suspect they were, especially in Epstein's case. But this was a very big operation against the United States, involving the president of the United States, who currently is in the White House.
Again.
And you can't, that is very hard to separate from reality, and anything that we get from them right now is just disinformation.
Yeah, no, I mean, basically, in Brooklyn, we would say it's on. I mean, that's it. I mean, there's not. I mean, what's there else to talk about? I mean, they showed their hand, they showed their cards. I mean, right now, uh, I, I'm hoping that this backfires, because just from the standpoint that we do have hope, because from what I'm hearing, there's a major exodus that's taking place alongside inside Congress, inside the Senate. And then I'm hoping that when they come back on January 5th, that they're going to be extremely surprised, and that somehow by the faith of God, that we might be able to somehow get the gavel, or somehow have
Mm.
and then I think it's on. And I think at that point, people are going to be
Mm.
responsible. I mean, like, look at this. I mean, is there anything in there that you haven't seen, or
This
that
is all
you look?
new stuff. This is new stuff. I haven't seen a lot of
Look at
this,
this.
but it's just coming through right now. The
But
AI
look,
is
it's all
post,
blacked out. It's all
but
blacked
it's all
out.
blacked out. I mean, the truth of it is, you're seeing nothing here. I don't know what this
Nothing.
is. Crack hole proposal, Hawaii, Danny Hill, Zorro. I mean, there's nothing. I don't know what these words are meant to say. or whether they're just, there's nothing here. Look at all this blacked out. Now you'd expect some level of blacking out. This is looks like Jean-Luc Picard, not Picard, Jean-Luc Brunel at the
Right.
at with Epstein, um, at Zorro Ranch.
Yeah. It looks like they're blacking out what's it called? Even not just victims, but they're blacking out actual people that were doing the crimes.
Yeah, it looks like they
That's
have.
it.
I don't see anyone here other than Jean-Luc Brunel,
I don't right.
uh,
Like there's
that
no
who's
names.
dead. It's easy to put him in here, but there's no others. These are just, I mean, these are. This is nothing. This is just like folders. This is a joke, really. Um, maybe there.
I
I
mean,
haven't
this
got to the
is
Clinton pictures yet. Maybe I'll go down to the end here and see what's coming in right at the end, because these are scanning furiously through here. But I don't expect we're going to see much. We've been through these already. Let's see. Sorry if I'm giving people too much to look at all at one time. I mean, it's just all. It looks like it's all the same stuff, all the same kind of stuff. I'm going back and forwards here a little bit, but what's this? Federal Bureau of Investigation, unclassified Federal Bureau of Investigation reporting document. I saw the original Robert Maxwell one, was showing his FBI files. That was a real FBI files. This is nothing. This is.
oh no, I've seen my FBI
I'm
files.
sure. I'm sure your FBI files is pretty full. Um, you know, and it's very detailed in document. It's not. This is like scratching the surface of what he was.
But this is also what they're doing is they're throwing, it's like throw a lot of stuff disorganized and just a bunch of and it's like looking for a needle in a haystack. It's not organized. It's not an these files are all organized. I mean
Yeah,
these are trust me when I tell you folks, these files are sitting somewhere like by they went to trial with Maxwell.
yeah,
This is not all thrown all over the place. They're giving you right now just basically things that have nothing to this, and then something there might be something extremely important, just like one page here that it's like constantly trying to find, and they might try to slip it in, or what I'm hearing is they're just going to get rid of it, and that's
yeah,
why you're seeing Rokana and constantly threaten with obstruction, because they, I'm sure, are also hearing the same thing I'm hearing from their sources, that their obstructions already happened, and that is why you're seeing the mass exodus of Bongino, Susie Wiles coming
yeah.
out talking, and now you're going to see others coming out after this, after January.
What's
I mean,
Bongino
doesn't
going to
surprise
say?
me.
Bongino must, he's got a lot to talk about now. Presumably, he can
Well,
lift the lid on all of
well,
this.
well, this is the whole thing. This is the interesting part. See, the timing of the way this is all playing out. They're really,
Is that?
these are
Sorry,
who's that? No, I thought it was a bad one for a second. That's not bad.
I thought it
No,
looked like Bill Barr, but I
no,
can't
no.
tell. I can't
But
tell.
what I was gonna say is to you is they're smart. They understand that right now. That's why they waited till the holidays, till till right now. There's nobody who's gonna. Where are you gonna find Dan Bongino for the next 2 3 weeks next month?
Yeah,
He's gonna watch. So he's gonna watch and see how this plays out. If Trump somehow controls and withstands and saves control of the House, he's gonna keep quiet and continue doing his thing. You know what I'm saying to you? If all of a sudden Donald Trump loses control and we get the seat, the gavel, you will see people like Dan Bongino all of a sudden coming out saying, "That's why I left. I couldn't take it." That's why you'll see people like Susie Wiles coming out saying, "I tried. I lost control. I told them not to do it. I tried to stop the retribution. I told them to release the files. I told them to do not to put ICE out there to look more carefully." Just everything reiterate what she put into that Vanity Fair article.
is this Burnell? I can't. I think it might
I
be.
can't see because I'm on the phone.
Okay,
It's very
sorry.
hard for
Yeah, yeah,
me.
yeah.
For me, it's very. I don't even see the pictures really
Oh,
that
I'm sorry.
well.
Because
That's
what you're
okay.
seeing here is quite an extraordinary life. These people obviously went to traveled to a lot of great places, and there are a lot of faces here that I have not seen before. So maybe I don't know who these people are. We're gonna have to do some research into some of these new faces that are showing up. Obviously, Ghislaine, a helicopter pilot, is shown piloting a helicopter here. There's a half-naked picture of looks like a man in drag of some sort. I don't know where they are. God, I wish I could place this name of this person here. Looks so familiar. You might be able to better, I know, but it's too small. There's Fergie, Andrew's former wife. This is the Sultan, I think. That was so prominent. Not this guy, the previous guy that was so prominent in his life. These are getting a lot more. You know, you're certainly seeing a lot more here. This is Bernal again, and I may be getting these names wrong, but Epstein's. You know, there's a lot of photographs that they
But see,
had.
but see there, you're not getting also the investigative part where you would have the FBI or the prosecutor linking this. Why is this in the
There's Clinton.
DOJ file? You know, what I'm saying to you, what was the theory? What was their theory for these people and who are like there's you and you they tag names. You should have
Mm,
like of an itinerary of people in which picture, who's in that picture. The FBI has everything itemized. Do you
yeah,
understand what
it
I'm
might
saying
it
to
might
you?
be in this different context because I'm pushing it through an AI, so it may be more organized than we're seeing it, but.
All right,
Because
okay, I'll
what
get.
the AI is doing is just pulling out all the photographs. Like in this case, in Clinton's, they're looking for Clinton photographs. So we're seeing that's Mick Jagger, obviously, with Bill Clinton and Epstein. Um, you know, there's a lot of Bill Clinton here, as you pointed out. Um, I don't know what plane that is. A different plane. He's Ghislaine again. Michael Jackson with Bill
Oh.
Clinton. Is that right?
Yeah, that I can't see. I can see
It's
the
Mike. It looks like
white of
Michael.
Michael. I don't
Yeah.
see. It's too small.
It looks like that's Michael Jackson and Bill Clinton. Although Michael Jackson always looks like a wax figurine there, but there's a lot of Clinton. There's a lot of Clinton. He has that famous picture we've seen before of Clinton with a girl on his lap that came from the Lolita Express. Yeah, they certainly are. And this picture here taken at the Queen's home, the Queen's country home, with Ghislaine and Jeffrey Epstein visited, which was always interesting that she gave them her country home to stay in. Maybe Andrew helped organize that.
I'm
Uh,
sure. I'm
uh,
sure. Yeah.
so that's gonna be a young Epstein. So this goes on and on and on. Um, these are these. Can you recognize the flag that this person's wearing on his
I
military
can't.
outfit? There, it looks almost Russian to me.
I can't even see.
Yeah,
I can see
sorry.
just green, like two little green men.
Yeah. Well, one of them is Ghislaine. I think the other
Oh,
person
okay. Alrighty.
is potentially looks Russian. I wish I could see closer. More Bill Clinton. I don't know who the guy with them is. So this is a lot of Clinton, as you
But
pointed out.
but but the fascinating part, you got zero Trump and lots
Yeah,
of Clinton. It's just like you can't make it up. Like I mean, look at this.
yeah. This is with Kevin Spacey. I think is that Kevin Spacey. I think Clinton and Kevin Spacey. I think went on a trip with Epstein. So that may explain that. Again, Democrats aplenty here. Um, uh, I'm not sure this is, but I've not seen many Republicans. This is really a lot of Clinton. This is really a lot of Clinton. I think it repeats itself. But as you pointed out, that's what you were expecting. You're expecting a lot
Yeah.
of Clinton to show up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I was expecting. Lots of Clinton, no Trump, lots of scrubbing, lots of black redactions, and the whole thing is it's what we're not seeing is that is the scary part. What my source told me, and that's why I gave you those key things that
Mm,
we'll keep looking at because. You don't know what you're not looking for. You know, it's
right.
one thing if you know what you're looking for, but we're expected to look through all these files and try to find something that might have been taken out or might have been scrubbed or might have been, that could be the link to a very important either financial link or maybe a extortion link or, a link to, that brings Trump right into it.
Yeah, we just don't know. We don't know what we don't have. Although we suspect that there is a lot of financial crimes that should have been included in this investigation. I suspect that there is a lot of criminal activity that is not included in here just because we know that there were financial crimes and we know Epstein was involved in that. And as I keep unpacking the greatest heist, people will realize how important those financial crimes were. So, even just the case we were talking about the other day, the Maison La Amity, That is a money laundering case that comes right out of Russia. That money was laundered into the United States via Russia, via Rabobiev, and that is an FBI crime that you would think you would find here in these FBI files, and or something that they would have at least investigated. I mean, it would seem remarkable if they didn't investigate a crime like that, and yet it's nowhere here. So this is a scrubbing for sure. Lots of Ghislaine.
Right,
Yeah,
and I don't see any of these pictures. If you take a look, if you really any common sense, you don't see what would this link to what crimes? These are pictures of him traveling around the world.
right.
World. I mean, there's no. You're not seeing any blackouts with Epstein, Clinton, and lots of black pictures of girls' faces. You know what I mean? Like
Not.
they're not showing you nothing. They're trying to. This is look. I
They
think this
show
is
a
someone
friendship
in a
between
green.
Ghislaine and Jeffrey and Clinton, basically,
It's it's basically right. It's just showing that it's just like I was
which is
told it to show to normalize Clinton's relationship with Epstein. So this way, if more comes out where Trump is then involved, you could say, well, everybody was,
this
again,
is this is
it's
controversial. Here's one that is a little controversial. There's Bill Clinton in a hot tub. Someone's blacked out. That could be a potential victim. That is suggestive that something is happening, but it certainly doesn't
but
say
but but
underage or anything like.
but I tell you, I mean, I do not think Bill Clinton is innocent. I don't think Bill
Yeah,
Clinton. I mean, you don't spend so much. I'm not giving you Bill Clinton a pass.
no, me neither.
I'm not defending Bill Clinton. I think Bill Clinton needs to if go down. If he was, I truly believe Bill Clinton was aware. You don't spend so much time with a man and don't know.
Mhm.
And it's right now we're just concentrating on Donald Trump because he's the president of the United States, and he's the. But I truly believe that Bill Clinton is just probably as guilty as them, and so is what's his name, Gates. There's a reason his wife left him because of the
Yeah,
his
but I'm
relationship with
surprised Bill Gates
Epstein.
is not in here.
Yeah.
He. We know these photos of him and Bill Gates exist, but they're
I'll
not
tell
in
you
the.
why. I'll
Yeah,
tell you why. Because Bill Gates bowed down. Didn't you see
mm,
him sitting next to
right.
Trump as part?
He did.
Yeah,
In fact, all
you
the
gotta
Silicon
remember
Valley people did. But Leon
that's
Black is another one. Where's Leon Black? He was supposedly such a good friend. Jess Staley, such a good friend
no, but
of.
that's coming. That's coming next. That's the next
Yeah,
dump. They're gonna get the first dump meant to basically just show Clinton, and this is
right.
what they did. It's a bunch of nothing to show that it's a not. There's nothing there, and it's Clinton and nothing there. It's Clinton and nothing, and some like suggestive stuff.
It really is what you're getting here. There's nothing in here that looks. There's lots of suggestive toys, sex toys,
Right, right,
But so what?
and then pictures of Clinton.
Yeah, exactly. It really is very. It is a setup. It seems like a Russian propagandist went in here and tailor made this for the American
Well, well,
audience.
well, well. That's what they did.
Yeah,
When they had time, instead of releasing the files, they were basically this is what they were spending millions of dollars, and this is what they had all these FBI agents and everything doing: scrubbing, fixing, fine tuning, mess. You know what I'm saying to
yeah.
you?
Removing any
This,
references, massage
uh,
tables. Yes, we expect those,
yeah,
but again, there's nothing in here that looks even remotely illegal. Frankly, just very fancy lifestyles of the rich and famous,
yeah.
including Bill Clinton. Well, I suspect it's not going to get any more the more we get into any of these pages as I'm scrolling through this as quickly
No,
as we can. So we might as well just end it here, Lev, because
yeah.
I
I
think what we're
would.
seeing is a cover up.
No, it's a complete cover up. I think what we should do is why don't you when you have some time go through and finish going through 'em. I know she's Ellie Leonard is going to be going through them also. And why don't I make some phone calls, see what the what's going on, and we either later today or tomorrow. Well, let's do a live, the three of us, and break it down what this really is.
Absolutely.
Maybe you guys could find something in there. I'll leave it up to you guys to go
There
through
isn't there
all of
isn't
it.
much. There isn't much as we're looking through it right now.
I know, but also, keep in mind sometimes it's also meant to a part of the criminal mind, which because I spent most of my life around the criminals, is to use a time like this to try to sneak something in, and because as you're saying, there's nothing much, we're not really seeing, you know what I mean, and then sneak that something in, so then when the dumps come later, we
Yeah.
already missed it, So just a thought,
Yeah, no, there
but
might be
anyway,
something. Look, this
but
Lev,
yeah,
thank you so much for bringing your perspective. Thank you
absolutely.
again for being so accurate in your reporting. Your sources have been terrific. And thank you at home for joining us today because We wanted to give you these as soon as they arrived, so we had it set up to process all these pictures and bring them to you. But as you can tell, there's nothing really here that even warrants any more of your time today. This
Yeah.
really is a cover up of the highest proportions, and the victims primarily need to know what happened. Many of them still do not know what happened. They don't know the full story. They don't know. They have to currently relive the traumatic experiences they've lived through before. What the Trump government, the regime is doing is appalling in trying to set up Bill Clinton as the only target here, and basically using the trauma that these victims and survivors went through as a means to get at a political enemy. It's just the worst kind of instincts, but it's very much what we expect from
But
this Trump
we won't.
regime.
We won't let them.
Yeah,
That's why, thanks to each and every one of you, and because of our community, and because of independent journalists like Zev Shalev that's out there, that is, and like Ellie Leonard and others. I just want to say to you that we won't let them. We have a plan. We
yeah,
will. Remember, I'm not a reporter. I was one of these people. I was part of that mega machine, and I'm gonna help. And I vow to you that we will take them down. We will get our democracy back. We just need your support. So keep subscribing, keep spreading the message. If you can, become paid subscribers, because you are the backbone of what makes us tick, to allows us to do what we do. And we have a GoFundMe set out. Zeb will share
yeah.
it with you.
Everyone,
I'll share it with you.
people must
Uh,
subscribe to Lev as well. Just let me say for 1 second here,
Absolutely.
if I could,
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
your
please do.
instincts and your sources are so right all the time that
Thank you.
you're so plugged in to everything that's going on inside that world, and your values are in the right place, and you keep fighting for the right things. And
Thank you,
that
Zeb.
says a lot for someone who came from this world of criminality, and through Trump. You really have a tremendous respect for mine, and you've really transformed your life in an incredible way.
Thank you, my friend.
And it's
Thank you.
wonderful to see your reporting being so accurate all the time, because you really are a gem and a real value to all of us in this community. Everyone should subscribe to Lev. I'm sure they
Thank
do
you,
already, but
guys.
I just want to say that as
Thank you.
well. And tell them
Thank you,
about the
Zeb.
GoFundMe while you can, when you're
Yeah,
here.
we have a GoFundMe set up. We're trying to raise between 150 to 200,000 for phase one. We have about 70,000 already raised.
Oh wow.
This part of the GoFundMe is to hire professional team of people to go out there, from lawyers and bookers and security and all that type of stuff, to put together also the fundraising machines, to properly do all of that, the legal. Simultaneously, we also have a volunteer hotline set up. It's levpttp at proton.me. We have over 100 volunteers already, all over the country, all over the world, actually, and keep signing up every day. And we're building a movement. It's already a movement, but we're building it now, not just to be here on Substack, but to go out there and actually to cause, as a good man said, good trouble. I know how these people think. Oh, I want to go into the red states. I want to confront them. I want to be able to, I could speak their language and do what we do, but not just on Substack, but on a national level. So that's what it's about. So if you can, folks, I know times are tough, but right now, this is what we're trying to do. The GoFundMe will be in the link when we'll send it to you. If you can, just join us. But the most important thing is subscribe. You may become paid subscribers, because the algorithms, the way they do it for people like Zev, very important. So the information, he's been on this for 6 years, folks. Over 6 years, he's been talking, and people weren't listening. And now people like him are coming out and giving us stuff. So my sources, a lot of times, are really validating a lot of the stuff Zev has been reporting. So this is why it's important for you guys to follow, subscribe, and I gotta go, Zev, because I
Yeah,
gotta be at Joy Reid at
no
six
worries.
o'clock. So a lot of stuff going on. Thank you, my
Okay, well,
brother.
everyone's going to follow you to Joy Reid now. And thanks, everybody. That's the great Lev Parnas joining us for the special reporting today. And yeah, Lev, you can log off there if you want. And that's all we have for you today. I've scanned through these as quickly as I can. In the background, we've also had AI trying to analyze what we've got here, but there is just clear evidence that this is a cover up of the highest proportion, that the Republican government of Donald Trump has basically wiped out what appears to be the real history of Jeffrey Epstein, selectively chosen to just highlight Bill Clinton, the only real other well known living American in these files, which is just nonsense, as all of you know. And this cover up is obvious to everybody. I don't know why they thought they would get away with it, or maybe they didn't. Maybe they just don't care. But there's a lot of questions that still need to be answered. But also, in The Greatest Heist, you can get the story of what Jeffrey Epstein and Donald Trump really did. We're working to get you the next chapter, hopefully by Monday or Tuesday of this coming week. It might be Wednesday, but it's a gripping chapter that really takes you inside how they ballooned the economy in the early 2000s and then ultimately crashed it intentionally in the way that they did. So that's all coming up at The Greatest Heist. If you go to narrative.org, NARATIV.org, subscribe there, and you'll get The Greatest Heist from me. The next chapter drops hopefully by early next week. I'll leave you with that. Have a great weekend, everybody. It's Friday. It's Epstein Day, or so-called Epstein Day. Turned out to be a bit of a damp squib, as they say. But we'll be back with a lot of Epstein information when we return on Monday. Have a great weekend, everybody.